So as it turns out, patriarchy is not the problem. The absence of it, however, is.
I don't want to ever see my son sitting on a couch whilst a family of women are cleaning in a kitchen.
Do you think we need to parent boys and girls differently?
I think I'm stricter for some reason with my son than Anna. I think Anna is naturally very empathetic. She's very kind. Like, she can read emotions. The first joke I ever made, she like hit me as a joke, like on my head. I went to laugh and I went, and she started crying. I was like, oh my God, I was just joking. Like, my son would never do that. So I think I'm a little bit more stricter with don't do that. I think it comes from my culture that I want my son to be very respectful, very like have manners. I don't want to ever see my son sitting on a couch whilst a family of women are cleaning in a kitchen. Like, I don't want to see that. And I'm very conscious of that just because of how I was raised. So I think I have that in the back of my mind when I'm parenting my kids.
Thanks to women like this, Generation Alpha, more than any generation before it, will be raised in households with domineering feminist mothers. That's exactly the situation she's describing here. She mentions, a family of women in the kitchen cleaning. And to me, it's like, the picture she's painting kind of sounds like a holiday, and you've got family coming together, and there's a bunch of women in the kitchen preparing food or cleaning up, whatever. And she says, in my world, I will not have my son sitting idly by while women are doing these things in the kitchen. I'm going to teach him it is his duty as a man to step in and assist the women. Because after all, she doesn't want her son to be like, these other toxic men she's been around in her life, where the women are in the kitchen cleaning up or cooking, and the men are sitting around, shooting the shit, having a drink, enjoying a male environment. God forbid there be any separation there. God forbid we allow for a moment women to be over there and men to be over here, each kind of naturally engaging in things that they find interesting. No, what must happen, because of what this feminist woman believes, is her son must not partake in that, because that's not right. Her son must behave more like an egalitarian. Her daughter, however, because of her apparent empathy, high EQ, is treated less strictly than her son. But what she described as a girl, not some gifted, emotionally intelligent human that can read emotions like a sidekick or whatever. Of course, your daughter is going to be more sensitive than your son. That's why she cries more than he does. That's completely normal. But it sounds like her daughter, honestly, knows that tears work well on mom to get her way. I guess it starts early. Now, it sounds like her son is going to be taught how to treat women, how to respect women, and her daughter is going to be taught how to treat herself and how to respect herself. Kind of the typical 21st century parenting blueprint. It's not unusual. This isn't a revolutionary approach or an unorthodox approach to parenting. As a matter of fact, this is likely the norm. Put heavy emphasis on teaching and directing our sons, whereas the girls, well, they can just do what feels right to them. Sounds like she wants to raise a male feminist ally. Absolutely. That's what a lot of moms seem to want to do with their sons nowadays. They want to teach them, about emotional intelligence, how to be good egalitarians, how to steer clear of toxic masculinity. And here's, the two things that can happen from that. One, it works, and he becomes, a 30-year-old Democrat that women aren't interested in because his mother made him a weak beta male. Or another thing can happen. He's exposed to alternate worldviews. He starts to hear very different messages than the one that his mother taught him, and they begin to resonate with him deeply. Things will start to click. things he may not have thought or even been able to articulate himself, but that make a lot of sense to him. And he starts to see his mother for what she is: a domineering feminist with double standards and an anti-male worldview.
I'm a single mom, and I was just seeing someone for 8 months. And in the beginning, I was like, yeah, obviously, I have a daughter. She's part of me. She's part of the deal. So, like, if you are okay with that, like 100%, I will pursue this with you. And he said, I want kids. That's no problem. Like, it's all good. Like, don't worry about it. We never even dated. We just saw each other for 8 months. He never asked me to be his girlfriend or anything. But guess what his number one excuse was? Why he couldn't move forward. That's right. The fact that I have a daughter, and he came to the realization after 8 months that she's still there. She still exists. And I'll be honest, I am terrified now to continue dating because I'm scared to get attached to someone, and they're okay with me being. Oh, I'm gonna cry. They're okay with me being a single mom. And then I fall for them and fall in love with them. And then the fact that, like, I'm a single mom is the reason that, like, when they said they were okay with that. So that fucked me up. That fucked me up pretty good. That was pretty traumatizing to have someone make me fall in love with them over 8 months and be okay the fact that I have a daughter, and then be like, actually, JK, like, I'm not okay with that. And then just never talk to me again. So.
Something she leaves out is that her social media presence, apart from her TikTok, it looks as if she's preparing to launch an OnlyFans. So on her Instagram, which she has linked, she's posting half-naked pictures, and there's a bunch of them. And it's getting very poor engagement, by the way, and her page has a low number of followers. So it is a sad thing to see because, we know the backstory now. We know she's a struggling single mom, clearly preparing to monetize her body online so that she can provide for her daughter or her son. She said daughter, yeah. Provide for her daughter that clearly doesn't have a father around to assist in the resources. And so here this young woman is, and it's very clear. Now, I didn't see the link. I don't think it's there yet on her Instagram. But you can tell that's what she's trying to get started. And it's yeah. It is sad, and this guy probably saw that. And he said, you know what? Let me get this straight. You're a single mother already in your 20s. You're beginning to post these pictures on Instagram. And you want me to take you seriously? He's like, are you out of your mind? But of course, here she admits the fact that she is a digital, or at least preparing to be a digital prostitute. Perhaps it's not even necessary to include digital. But hey, I mean, let this be a reminder for the young women, the two of you that are watching. You have got to avoid single motherhood like it is a plague. It's not a good thing. If you're married and you have children, keep that family together. If you're a single woman and you're getting to know a guy, make sure you are not going to be, quicker to become a mother than a wife, which is what so many modern women do. When I see a woman around my age and she's a single mom, this may not be the case, but I am thinking most likely she got pregnant out of wedlock with a loser, or already has a divorce under her belt that she most likely initiated, right? 70 to 90% of the time. So both of those are not impressive things to have accomplished at such a young age. So that is, steer clear of that. But look, I will say though, with a lot of these single moms, these young single moms, at least they didn't abort it. Right? Because that's really what most young women do who would be in that situation. Since they've ditched, reproductive responsibility, and they say, oh, well, we can just abort it. No big deal. You don't need to wear a condom. Don't need to be on birth control, whatever. No biggie. it can be aborted, right? No big deal. So at least she didn't do that. At least these single moms, they don't do that, okay? And looking at her, yeah, she does look like she's in her 20s. So she's in for a rough time, really. And it's like her putting those scandalous photos online, which of course solidify her status as a low, integrous woman. It's not going to make her situation any easier. Like if you're going to be a young woman and you're already a single mom, you've got kids, you really can't afford to add any more kind of negative things. Like you better be nailing it in every other area if you want to get picked. And I mean, clearly this woman is just doing it all wrong.